Welcome back, MTG Joe here. We're here with a brew, so trying to not play blue for a little. Pretty much all my offline plays control deck, so want to smash some face with some creatures. So this is a Naya, so red, green, and white Fires of Inventions deck. So Fires is the namesake card. Basically, you get to cast two cards during only your turn, equal to its converted mana cost. But this is a kind of a unique take. This is a Giants build. So you have Bonecrusher Giant, which, as you know, kind of two sides of a spell. Tectonic Giant is a new card from Theros. So when it becomes a target of a spell, or when it attacks, it either deals 3 damage to an opponent, or you exile the top 2 cards of your library, pick one, you get to cast it this turn if you want. So this is kind of card advantage that works well with Fires. And then we have Realm-Cloaked Giant, which is a board wipe that protects our Giants. So one-sided, and then on the flip side, it's a 7/7 Vigilance. Only playing 2 of these because it's a bit awkward, I found, with Fires in the couple games I was testing. 7 mana for a 7/7 isn't the best rate, so I just want to do 2 of those. And then Beanstalk Giant gets bigger the later in the game with the amount of lands we have, and helps us. So if you can play this on 3 and you have Fires in your hand, you can go like turn 4 Fires into turn 4 Fires, and then a 5-drop, either Cavalier or Elspeth Conquers Death. So Cavalier's in here, although not a giant, it's a giant at heart. This should be a giant, it's a titan. Basically, it could give all our things haste, and then it helps us cycle through our deck to kind of get some availability. So rounding out the deck, we got a couple Clarions to deal with the more aggressive decks. Also gives our stuff lifelink. A lot of our stuff has more toughness than Clarion, so it's another one-sided board wipe. Bonds of Flourishing is something I just added in after testing. I had Sundering Giant in here, but felt kind of lackluster. The aggro decks were kind of grinding us out, and this is a little bit more early game interaction. Basically, with Bonds of Flourishing, it could get everything in our deck except the Deafening Clarion. So it's a way to gain some life, get some card advantage. We're playing 2 gods in the deck. Playing Klothys, God of Destiny. This is one of my favorite cards from the set, and I keep jamming kind of different builds with her. Basically, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you exile a card from a graveyard, ideally your opponent's. If it's non-land, you mini Lightning Helix, so gain 2 life, they lose 2 life. And if it's a land, you get to ramp, so it's another way for us to get ahead mana-wise. It's indestructible. And then Naya actually has been pretty good in this deck. With Fires, you have open mana. With Naya, you can pay that mana to try to draw some cards. And if we don't have Fires out, it does lower the casting cost of our big things. So it's kind of a way around there as well. A couple Conquers Death, just to blow up our opponent's stuff. Also gets back our big things. And then a couple Chandras on the top end. Mana base wise, 4 of each shocks, 2 of each of the scry lands, the non-green white ones, were base red green, and then 1 castle just as a mana sink. We have to play a couple of basics because of the Beanstalk Giant, and then no Fabled Passage in this build. Sideboard wise, threw it together, but Devout Decree versus red decks, red or black decks, Lava Coil versus aggro, Cindervines versus control. This also has the upside of blowing up enchantments or artifacts. Another Deafening Clarion versus aggro, Shifting Ceratops, Chandra, and Domri Chaosbringer will all come in against control or kind of mid-rangey grind decks. Domri is a way for us to get card advantage, and it threatens an ultimate, so it's another point of attack. Still testing this one out. Not sure the numbers. I might have to go up another land, so we're just going to play traditional standard play here. I'm not going to play ranked. Been going on a decent streak, so I want to try to get out of platinum, or no, diamond, whatever the one is, 2 below mythic I'm at. Had a really rough month on the ladder. Can't find anything to go on an extended streak, other than Doom Foretold, which I posted the stats on today on my Instagram. Haven't really had too much success this month. Last month we did really well on the ladder. If you are interested as well, let me know. So I posted, there's a plugin to Arena called Untapped GG. So starting with this hand, opponent goes first. If we draw a land, we can Cavaliers. It's a little risky, but let's try it. Basically, it tracks the log files on Arena, so it lets you see kind of how your performance is. So I've been doing it more on my laptop as opposed to my streaming PC. But if there's interest in seeing like how these decks perform in certain matchups, anything like that, let me know, and I can install it on this computer too, and then I can start providing some stats. I kind of play more brews on my desktop, and then on my laptop I actually do when I just like ladder up. Okay, so they took the Fires. Esper. I bet Esper and testing. And when I say testing, I say that loosely, as I've played 2 games with it. Teferi, Narset. Narset's not as bad for our deck. We're not really drawing. Ooh, it's Doom Foretold. You know what deck does not do well against Doom Foretold? The one that's playing little creatures each turn. So I think we just got to stick a Chandra and then uptick. We also don't have the double red. It's interesting. They throw off their Doom Foretold. So we can Clarion here and just get that off the board. Which is probably what we do. Oh, you know what? I probably should have binned let's just Clarion. Because if I bin Chandra, then I can get it back with Conquer's Death. I'm usually the guy on the other side playing this Doom Foretold list. I don't play Narset in mine. But this is the kind of matchup you want to play. The deck's very good against Fires. I think I'm like 6-1 or 7-1. Okay, so they go Othakaya. They're kind of setting up their board for the Doom Foretold to come down. With Chandra out, we can at least start putting damage on them with the emblem. And then I can bring it back with Conquer's Death. So Doom Foretold is going to force me to sack this. So I'm going to exile it so they don't get the value. I think I'm going to hold the land. It lets us, once we take the Chandra off the board, cycle. Aye. Why would it tap like that? Very silly how it tapped there. So we're going to try to race this. They can gain a bit of life next turn. Yeah, it's definitely get Chandra, put another counter on it. Mind you, if we get Cavalier and then we play Beanstalk Giant, we can probably just strike them to death. Okay, so they Banishing Light. If we can draw another creature, that'd be good. Also cost him 5 mana to Banishing Light this turn. So let's play out Beanie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They should be dead here. Yeah. The fact we got game 1 even racing a Dream Trawler is pretty sweet. So this matchup, the Chandra I want, the Ceratops, the Cindervines, and the Domri. Coming out, the Clarions. Nylea's okay. Probably want Realm-Cloaked still. It's an answer to what's its face. Actually, Nylea. Could probably get rid of Bonds. They're not really going to be aggressive. Shave. Tectonic Giant. And maybe Nylea. Because like they're the Doom Foretold. If this was just a normal Esper deck, I'd keep Nylea in. But I feel like it's probably the least useful in this matchup. Really what we want to do is similar to last game. Get down like an early Chandra and then go to town there. Sounds fine. If we get Thought Erasured, we're a lot worse because we don't have the red mana. They're a bit aggressive with the first Doom Foretold. They had Thought Erasured us and they saw that we had permanence. They should have waited for us to play something out. Eee. It's no good. You can only take fires. Hurt us a lot more if they have Thought Erasure. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're going to take the Klothys or if they're going to take the Beanstalk Giant here. Red Source off the top would really punish them. Nope. We're asking for too much. And they got Teferi. Oi, we got it. So I'm going to play this out. This makes it so Teferi down tick deals a point of damage. Oh, they got the Doom Foretold. So I'm going to exile the Doom Foretold with the Conqueror's Death. Wonder if they still play out Teferi. So the best would be another red source. They're going to take the Cindervines or the Conqueror's Death. I think Conqueror's Death's what you want to take. It's a clean answer to the Doom Foretold in their hand. So let's just take this off the board. It's one less thing with Doom Foretold that they get access to. Yeah, that's fine. Cycle your Narsets. So this version of Doom Foretold looks more blue-white based. Mine's more white-black based. So we got Realm Cloak. Just gonna play this out. They want a Doom Foretold. I don't care as much about the Bonecrusher. I think Klothys would be a better card in case they're playing Dance of the Mance. Alright, so we've been hit by 4 discard spells now. Okay, so now we're in trouble. So I'm opting to just have this go away. They can get their 2/2. We can make a token on end step. I'm gonna discard Tectonic Giant. This is part of the reason I'm not crazy about having Realm Cloaks. So it's Beanstalk for a red source. And then just play out Klothys. See here if they go token plan. Yeah. Too many cards in hand for them to start drawing. They're also short a second black source. So what we're going to do is target the Doom Foretolds in their graveyard first, and then target the Teferi. This could be a Teferi from them, perhaps. Nope, just Doom Foretolds. So just take the trade here. So I could play Naya and try to draw a card. I think we just do that. Forces another sack out of them. This way we might be able to find like a Conqueror's Death, something of that nature. Even Cindervines to blow up the Doom Foretold. They despark. It's actually not a bad draw. Lets us take down the Knight. Opponents used 5 more minutes of clock. We got a discard, so probably just discard Bonecrusher and then just board wipe here. That's a sweet animation. So here they did like all that work and they're no further ahead. We're at 8 life. So I'm going to play a Beanstalk because if they bounce it, I get to fetch another land out. See if they have like another D-Spark or something. They do. Chandra would be okay. So I'm going to go Tech Giant here. If he gets targeted by a spell, I can try to dig a bit deeper into the deck. Cavalier is just more susceptible. It's pretty aggressive. It's fine, you duress. So because Banishing Light enters the battlefield and then the target goes on the stack, Realm Cloaks are only out. Well, Chandra as well. Chandra could sweep. Give us a... Nah. Alright, so they got us there. So how do we want to change this up? Naya seems really bad, so let's go Tech Giant. It's more aggressive. I think that's it. Like, I still don't want to bring the Clarions in. They're dead most of the game. We just need to try to get under the Doom Foretold. If we can get Fires down, play 2 or 3 things. Hey Quantum, how's it going? Let's see, come on opponent. Should have your game board ready for the Giants matchup. Still kind of impressed we erased Dream Trawler in match 1. That's usually one of the tougher things to beat. Alright, so this is the Don't Draw White Sources game. Just what we wanted. Another 6-drop. We took game 1. Lost game 2. This is the first match against Esper. Game 2 we were missing our red source for quite a few turns, and we got in the first like 5 turns we got Duress, Thought Erasure, Thought Erasure, Thought Erasure, Doom Foretold, which was kind of a stomping. So they have Spark. I think we just go Tech Giant here. We could have hit this to take it down from drawing an additional card, but kind of want to force their hand. Esper things. I literally play this deck on the other side, so I can't complain. I don't play Duress though. Play Agonizing Remorse. The Exile is better. So opponent knows the sequencing well. They're playing more castles than we are. Their mana base is a lot riskier. Yeah, it's the only thing I've found that's been really consistent against mono red. I took it down a game today where I was at 1 life for 4 turns, and every top deck was just like Heart of the Cards. Okay, so they get to Fairy here. Okay, so we have the Temple. Don't want Cavalier just yet. So next turn I can Chandra uptick. They have to deal with Chandra. That can be through Dispark. And then I can play another Chandra uptick, and then it starts putting a clock on them. The triple Bonecrusher hand's been pretty good against their board state right now. And then I can always start just making tokens with Castle Ardenvale. Interesting. They go for the shock here. Yeah, Omen Sweet. Okay, so they go to Fairy again. I think we just do this. It forces their hand. Oh, you know what? I should have held that land. That was a mistake. Because we're going to have to discard to Doom Foretold. Unless they just don't Dispark this. If they get greedy. Do it. Don't do it. Actually, I kind of want them to get rid of this Doom Foretold. Okay, they Dispark it. Yeah, this hand would have been much better if we had both. Or, you know, I'll take you. So this one's going to exile this because it has lifelink. They can attack here. These adventure cards have been good against Doom Foretold. It's let us cast multiple spells. 14 minutes. Okay, so they play out the Doom Foretold. That one's a bit of an issue because we lose the Chandra. We were hoping to get another uptick going. So I'm playing cards from the hand over the exile pile or like the adventure pile because they can't get hit by discard. Banishing Light. I'd say both Doom Foretold and Simic Flash should be our worst matchups. I think traditional Esper is fine. It's just that this one having a whole bunch of sack effects is really powerful. So I'm doing this because it gives us 2 spells. So they have to deal with kind of both in this avenue. It also insulates us from a Doom Foretold again. Or they just get Conqueror's Death. Exile this, and then we don't get Chandra back. Alright, Realm-Cloaked Giant off the top. Let's get Cindervines. Keep it on top. And they have the veto. Yeah. We're done here, folks. We are done. The triple Chandra draw couldn't beat Doom Foretold. I'm going to give Arena a quick reset, and then we'll fire up another game. Actually quite impressed, like how it held up against Esper there. I would rather play blue-white control probably than the Doom Foretold. Let's fire up another one. Blue-white, they won't have like the sack effects, so they can only exile through enchantments, and then we have Cindervines post-board that can blow those up. I think I'm playing 2 Conquer's Death. We also didn't get fires at all, so we were playing... Do we draw lands? We also had some really weird mana base situations. May want to cut and play another land. The next lands are unique. I'm not crazy about them, to be honest. I prefer the unhinged full arts. I usually don't update for like these smaller ones. So this is mono black. Just get rid of Bonds of Flourishing. I wouldn't like... Are you kidding me? I got like a stack from my box, but I'd still just play like full art ones instead. Alright, let's play you out. They want a Murderous Rider, they take 4 to do so. Really wanted you to be untapped. I want to get to Chandra, so I'm going to keep the land. We got Tectonic Giant for next turn. If they play something like a small dude, I could Bonecrusher it. Okay, so they're going to opt to Murderous Rider. So they're taking more damage than just the attack. What I do really like is the borderless planeswalkers. I picked up the Full Art Ashiok and Elspeth. So I'm going to see if they're going to attack in with the Yara, so that way I can Bone Crush the Familiar. They can sack to draw a card, which turns off Bone Crusher. Just want to get to the Chandra. Gray Merchant hits us for 7, so we have to be mindful of that. Oh, shit. Lands on top, lands on top. Okay. Clarion is very good. Do they see this? So they can draw a card here. Okay, so they just clear out their board. The main thing is this takes off some devotion, and it makes it so that they're not gaining life off of Yara. So it does put a cap on how much of Bolas's Citadel they can do. They do get to bring Cat back here. So if they run poorly off the top, may have a chance. We get two kind of draw steps with the Tech Giants. Today I was playing against Team Iraq. Went to 3 matches. They spent 15 more minutes than I did. Okay, they're getting a little risky here. Chandra wipes this board. So let's see. Because I want to know what we get. I want it to resolve first. Because I don't want to throw the damage at the opponent. I think we just dig for the land or a Clarion. Klothys is pretty good, but they were slow playing. We had Teferi out. Punished. Like Teferi makes it hard for them to combo out, but they were just like game 1 they were dead, but they made me attack in with 1/1 Castle Ardenvale tokens. Which I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you got to do. Yes, please. Klothys can gain us a bunch of life. And they're getting pretty low on life where the Citadel's not going to be that useful. Mind you, they can't eat this food. When Citadel's out, you got to prioritize taking a Yara off. It helps them dig deep. We don't have an Ardenvale or any of our mana sinks this game. Tech Giant's been really good here. Oh, we still got a line to play. They bring back a cat. See if they eat the food. Bro. BUGs. Bugs. Okay. Why didn't it let us play this? Oh, we played the line for turn. Never mind. Derp. So they can escape back Woe Strider. Cast Woe Strider. This might be to get stuff off the top of the library. Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a second Gary? Certainly makes it a lot harder for us to deal with them. So I can do another sweep here of the board. That kind of forces their hand. Because then they can't get the block sacks in. I can deal 9 points of damage. Let's do that. We lose Chandra this way. That lets us attack, like, they could block with Gary, but it's gonna die now. Oh, you're elementals too. Oh, that's sweet. So let's go full control. Deal 3, deal 3, deal 3. Let's kill the Gary. That way they can't get it back. And it's less blockers. Why is it still asking me to resolve everything? So a good chunk of damage into the opponent here. So Cat comes back. Oh, we're just dead to Cat, aren't we? We are. Yeah, because Cat comes in, and then it's sack, sack, sacks. Okay, opponent's got enough. Let me see if they show it. A little too slow there. Yeah. Tech Giants are sweet, and maybe we should have been more aggressive going to their face. So another Clarion in this matchup's good. Probably just want Lava Coils, Devout Decrees, and another Chandra. Klothys is fine. Fires is fine. Naya could come out. Conquer's Death is decent. Realm-Cloaked. Probably get the Beanstalk Giants out of here. They're not going to do much against Cat. And since we have the... We can get rid of a couple bonds. Because like our stuff blocks well, and then we're bringing in more removal. Actually, probably drop a Cavalier. 2 Cavaliers. Cavalier's just going to get chumped to like no end. And I don't think we're really going to surprise. They're probably bringing in like Agonizing Remorse, stuff like that against us. Why? If we had you last game, it would have been a lot closer. We need the land here. Klothys I would love against a oven deck. Start attacking their graveyard, gaining us life. Timer at. I think here we're just going to do this. Force their hand. We don't get the scry, but they get the sack. Low Strider. So depending what they play out, I'll either Bonecrusher the Woe Strider, so they have to sack there, or just set up a Clarion. We'll take 3 points of damage here. I'm gonna drop this castle, I think. Okay, if it's just Timeret, then we're gonna Clarion. I don't want lands anyways. So Woe Strider sacks on the goat, they scry, Tyramet eats some stuff out of our graveyard. And then Witch's Oven sacks something to get a food token. Like, we've answered their board pretty well. If we could run like land fires, that'd be good. Because Oven disrupts Bonecrusher as well, which kind of sucks. Even just like Devout Decree being able to exile or get the scry off. Okay, so I have Nightmare Shepherd. Yeah, it's like, I don't think maybe we go 25 lands. Our curve's pretty high. I got a ton of food if they ever find a cat. Woe Strider escapes 4. So they have the mana condition. Think we do Conquer's Death. Like, it's worse against if they have Bolus's Citadel. Okay, they have Lava Coil. Or we have Lava Coil, not they have Lava Coil. Let's go Giant here. This might be Murderous Rider. So we're looking for fires or land. Unfortunate thing is Chandra is then exiled. So they might escape this back. No, they just go there. And they got the cat. So I can only play this till next turn. So I'm going to try to bait them here to use the Witch's Oven. And then I can Lava Coil the Cauldron Familiar. If we draw Untapped Source, we can Chandra. This comes back as a 5/4. I'm getting all our scry value. I think we want to try to find a Clarion. Tech Giant's decent here because it can protect our Chandra. If anything, like with this deck, this card's good. And maybe we just go like red-green. Play like all the Cavaliers. I mean, like, we just take fires. naturally draws into fires. Nope, don't want you. So we're forced into Chandra 3. Surprised they went the food route here. I think that you want to set up your scry first. That'd be more valuable. Are you an elemental? You're a horror. Oh, they're just ignoring Chandra. Lily here. Okay, that's not bad. Because this lets us -1 on Chandra. They can sack. So they're going to get to draw some cards. And like we do need an answer to Liliana. So I'm going to hold the fires in case we draw Cavalier. Just make a castle token here.
Rise and shine.
Their sequencing is very poor. They could have won already. They flexing on us. Alright. So, what do we need to change with this deck? We've been coming close, but no cigar. So maybe Nylea's not needed. What's that one called? Escape the Wilds. Let's try Escape the Wilds. And then yeah, let's try Escape the Wilds. I think that's good. I'll run it for one more. Give me 1 sec. Seeing a bit of a leg. I'm gonna be very happy once Arena moves over to 64-bit. Won't have as much memory leak and it'll actually take advantage of more than 4 gigs of RAM. Thinking if we do like Gruely Boys with Tectonic Giant, like Rhythm of the Wild, you get the effect right away. Because you can go like Paradise Druid into that. That it being a turn 3 play is very powerful. Gets around opponent's Clarions. Yeah, we'll keep this. Hopefully it's not mono red. It's mono red. Where's my Clarions? Problem is all our fires plays so far are Clarion. Clarion. Oh no, another 5-drop. Good. So we're going to get fires and then mono 5-drops. All right. So Clarion or we're dead. I don't understand if you're playing like mono red, like why you're not playing rank ladder. Like, it's good for testing, but it doesn't really strike me. So let's show them literally nothing of our deck. Alright, Devout Decrees, Lava Coils, Clarion. I actually prefer Chandra just because it is a board wipe and exile. Cavalier of Flames could come out. You're not really going to do much. Bond of Flourishing gains life. Devout Decree, Bonecrusher's removal, Klothys. Elspeth Conquers Death is a removal spell. Escape to the Wilds could come out. Maybe cut a Chandra, too much Chandra. Cut a Beanstalk Giant. Actually, probably want Chandras more than I want Beanstalk. Actually, just going to bring in Ceratops as a blocker. I just don't think we're really ever going to get a chance to make Giant, or like a Beanstalk useful. Like if we're taking a turn to fetch a land, they're playing like Annex. Yeah, this hand's good. We have Clarion. That's pretty much how these games go. No lands, give us spells. Ooh. That one's a good one because it lets us save this Clarion. It's fine if they're just using a shock there. Save the Lava Coil. The Clarions can hit multiple things. Lava Coil is also useful against like Annex. Yeah, they're just going to Rimrock here. So going Ceratops here means I can Clarion, clear their board, and gain 5 life. No blocks. I can gain back 5 life anyways. Hardcast Bonecrusher. Puts us back up to 18. We can do that again next turn. So I doubt they block here. If they Ember Cleave me, they hit me for 8. So I'm actually just going to pass the turn here. I want to use this for Annex, and if they have Torbran, then I like Clarion alone doesn't deal with Torbran. Oh, that's great. If they're just spending their whole turn pumping there. Five-line special. So the one thing is, like, without Nylea, we lose that mana sink. But we're ending up just Ceratops beats down. Yeah. So at this point, they've just seen, like, sweepers from us and Ceratops. They haven't seen any of our other creatures, so they might bring in Lava Coils now, so it's something we need to be mindful of. They are also going to be on the play. They had a slower start that game. And we'll probably need to be a little bit more aggressive, making sure we have Clarion. need to decide what I want for dinner tonight. Probably sushi. I'm going to show you something funny with my dog. We bought her a very expensive bed, and this is how she decides to sleep. If it works, literally right beside said bed instead of on it. This hand's great. I don't get her. Like, I really don't get her. Like, she goes out of her way to be uncomfortable. So this hand's interesting because I could Bonds of Flourishing for... I think we just Bonds of Flourishing here. It gains us 3 life. It gets him to overcommit. And then we have the Clarion to try to catch up. Hopefully finds us a line. I'm going to take the Forest here. I don't want the come into play on tap lands. Okay, so they have Annex. They're going to get tokens, but we could clean it up the following turn. Okay, they've seen the Forest, so we'll Clarion off that. Would love a Fires, to be honest. Okay, they go Furby. Okay, and they cleave, so we can wipe up their board. Took a lot of damage there, but hopefully they're out of cards. They did get the Embercleave into play, so any future creatures becomes a lot scarier. Then Bonecrusher. So not the best. Don't particularly like having to 1-for-1 here, but the problem is if I double Bonecrusher, I take 4 points of damage, and then we die that way. Scorch Spitter can die. Devout Decree. So I have to play it out like this, because if they get what's the one name? Fervent Champion? Torbrand. Fires. No. Just want like Fires or a board wipe, something like that. This gives me a little bit more options. I'm not going to attack. I'm a little worried about equipping to the Embercleave. Oh, they got the Lava Coil here, so that's going to go Tech Giant. So we'll take the Bonds here, gains us some more life. Ooh, Lava Coil is actually very good for us. So I can Fires or I can Chandra. I think we Chandra. And since their turn most likely is just going to be Torbrand. Get you out of the way. So Annex can equip, but it doesn't have haste. Everything they have that has haste can get stomped. Shit, we might catch up out of this one. Turns out just tons of burn removal. Okay, they stomp the face. I'm going to go face here. So Clarion wins it for us. Good game. Eee, so we took down mono red. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, so this deck's not, for what I thought it would be, like a meme deck, it's actually not too bad. Obviously a little bit of a tough matchup against like counter space decks, but Fires in general has that issue. We're not as like all-out combo-y, but this card has been very impressive. So I think it's something we explore again. Probably a different, kind of a slightly different take on Gruul. Or maybe I'm going to try out, I know Jeff Hoogland did a red-green version of Fires, but maybe we try that out, see how it goes. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. Been going for a little over an hour. Doggo needs to go on a walk and then grab some dinner. If you want to catch any of my other stuff, it's up on my YouTube channel. And then the next time, we'll probably play... I've been working on a kind of a different take on Mono Black Devotion. It's basically it's Mono Black Thassa. You blink your Grey Merchants. You got Atris and Ashiok as some support. You can reset your Oathsworn Knight every turn. So it attacks, comes back on defense, gets a counter removed. Underworld Dreams and Leyline Main to kind of attack from a different axis and some discard. So it's kind of refining those numbers there. Probably play it on the next one and go from there. Otherwise, still ranking up on the side. Once we get to the next level, we'll play, or the next rank, we'll play some more ranked. And then if you're looking for a flash list, not mine, but another content creator on AetherHub, Kilodubs. He's like top, I think 300 on Mythic right now with his list. So he's been playing pretty much Flash for the longest time. So this is his list here. If you're interested in like the deck list itself, if you go on AetherHub and under Arena Standard, just type Killa, Killadub, you'll find this list here. But it's a pretty refined list. I would check it out. He has a lot of success with Flash. It sucks against mono red, at least from my testing. But I basically won every other match other than mono red. So as long as you dodge mono red, you're fine. But I was like 6-4 in matches. The 4 losses being mono red. Everything else I bet. So you can take it from there. Anyways, thanks a lot. We'll catch you next time and have a great evening or day depending where you are in the world.